Good afternoon, Night Nation. Look who's back.
We're back, baby.
We are back. It is episode 10, and we are set to go. Winter sports are underway, and they are cooking, so we are ready to go. Let's see what we got. Girls' Soups to start things, and they're off to a 1-2 start.
They've been busy.
Very busy. Started the season with 2 losses, but then last night they got a victory. Their season started against Rochester Lourdes, the team that ended their season last year in the section finals. They lost 63-28 here at the Castle, and then they went to Randolph and they played a tough game, but they just couldn't get past the Rockets, losing that one 39-35. But last night, Wem came to town and they got a nice 5-point victory, up by at least 17 at one point in that game.
Let's go back to the Lourdes game. Lourdes is tough. Top 3 in the state this year to start off the year, and they've got some really good players that are young, and explosive athletes that can grab the rim and everything. So it was an uphill battle for us from the start. Then we went to Randolph. I think that's one the girls and the coaches wish they could replay,
right.
And to kind of get that one, it was 39-35 as you said. And then last night they had a 17-point lead with 10 minutes left. They ended up, Wem did a nice job coming back, but we did a nice job holding on to get the win by 5 points last night. And it doesn't get any easier as they have 2 tough teams in their next 2 games with the Comets from KM and then the Byron Bears, who have that D1 player.
And anytime you're playing a team like Byron with a Division I recruit, it really makes for a charged atmosphere. And you really have to, you don't deal with that kind of size and talent all the time. So you really have to go into that game thinking that you got to do 2 things. You got to beat Byron, and you also have to beat her.
Well, and the Knights are replacing, I think, 4 starters from last year, and over probably even 4,000 points, from their career.
And they're really learning on the run.
So, we got some young girls, we got some seniors that are the leaders of the team this year, and then we have some younger girls that are gaining experience too. And here's a picture of them from Deb Quam. Thank you for that, Deb Quam. She does a nice job with our team pictures. But, they've got a lot of learning to do, and they don't have much time to do it.
No, you kind of got to learn on the run, and I think this team's going to be a lot better as the season progresses. So, speaking of another team that we hope gets better as the season progresses is the boys basketball team.
Definitely.
And they played 4 games. Unfortunately, they've lost all 4 of them. Jack Belkey's out until mid-December.
Yep.
So we're still without Jack. We have a very young roster. We have, I think, the class that's represented the most on the varsity roster is the sophomore class. And Coach Peterson, I know he said that he really likes the youth in the program, but with youth comes, speed bumps and stumbling blocks. And so this team is going to have its share of learning moments. But, they lost to Randolph and then Blooming Prairie and Triton at that Triton tournament. And then last night they lost pretty big to Wem. They're not seeming to be able to score more than about 35, 40 points a game. And they haven't given up, 80, 90 points, but it's awful hard to win a high school basketball game when you can't eclipse 40, 42 points.
Well, if we're going to have a chance to win, we're going to have to really lock down on defense, because we're having trouble scoring, as you said, 45 points some nights.
Right.
So we're going to have to, shorten the game by shortening possessions and, play better defense if we want to have a chance. And, defense starts with communication.
Right.
That's something that Jack Belkey's going to bring when he gets back, and he'll bring that leadership. And you know what? You play one game at a time.
Right.
The losses, they sure mounted last year, and they've started to mount this year, but one game at a time. Flush the last couple, and we got another chance tomorrow night as we go to LeSueur Henderson to take on the Giants.
And that game's in Henderson,
right,
top of the hill. And then Friday night it's ZM at home, and then next Tuesday it's Triton. So when we do our show next week, we're gonna have 7 games in the books already for the boys basketball team, and there they are. And they're a young squad, and I was thinking about how valuable is Jack Belkey to this team, and I think he's 10 to 15 points better than they are now if they add him to the mix. I think with defense and his scoring touch around the rim, and that's a win or two in what they've already done. So I think this team is capable of winning some games, but they have to stay healthy too, especially in the seniors.
Well, he's going to provide a lot on offense, but I think he's going to provide even more on defense. And if you take, let's say he averages 12 points a game, let's just say that. Mm-hmm. That's 12 points more. And I think we can also take away 6-8 points from the other team.
There's an 18 to 20 point swing right there. And I think that might be the difference in some of those games. So
Let's talk
good luck
about
to
reloading,
them.
though. Reloading.
Yeah, reloading. Wrestling. Look at that sharp group right there.
Yeah, baby.
Looks like they got new singlets this year.
I think they might.
Yeah, those look great.
Yeah.
Wrestling team, they went up to Lindstrom, Minnesota on Saturday to the Chisago Lakes invite.
Yep.
Really good early season invite. And they went 2-2. They beat Chisago Lakes pretty well, and then they beat Amory, Wisconsin. And then they lost to Foley, and Foley is always, if you follow high school wrestling, Foley is always there.
They're tough. I think they might even be a class ahead of us.
Yeah, they're a good program. And Little Falls, don't know much about them, but they seem to be a pretty good program as well. And this team, again, they lose players, but they load from within. We've got some 7th graders contributing. We got 8th graders contributing, 9th graders. And then, you hate to use this as even a talking point, but Tyler Ryan being out, this team has got to really find its groove here. I think they're still very capable of getting to the state tournament in March, but I think they're going to have to learn as they go and find out who fits in what weight classes. And I think this is again another good team that Coach Ryan's got going.
Tyler Ryan was one of our best wrestlers before getting injured, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. But until then, guys who they were a part of our state run last year and maybe even the year before.
Right.
But now they have the expectations put on them.
Right.
So they're going to have to perform and they're going to have to handle those expectations. And I think some of them are even ranked pretty high in the top 10. And then they're just going to have to get down to business and prove it.
Yep. So. And they can prove it tomorrow night. They host a triangular here at the Castle with Byron and Pem. And that should be a lot of fun, especially to have the Knights back in the Castle.
And
wrestling.
They don't have many home matches.
No, and that's the thing. So get out there.
They
don't have that 15, 20 home games like basketball does. They are 5-6 meets. So get out there, support them. This team has really put us on the map the last few years as not only a school but a community as well. So
they're trying to be a three-peat state tournament here, and I don't think any team has ever gone to the state tournament 3 years in a row in any sport.
Yeah,
so
I think they can do it. Definitely can do it. Another successful team is our trap shooting team.
Yeah.
And we had, during our hiatus, we had the opportunity to talk to Larry Walker. And we have an interview for you right now about the trap team and their success and their look to the future. All right, I'm here with coach of our trap team, Mr. Larry Walker. Larry, thanks for joining us so much. And we had you on last year, and we want to have you back because great things are happening, not only this past fall, but going back to last spring, early summer. Our trap team went in June to the state meet in Alexandria, and they did really good. You had how many kids you had up there?
20 kids.
Wow.
Men and ladies.
Okay, so it's co-ed. It's
yes.
a co-ed team.
Right.
So, and you guys went up there, and novice team finished 3rd in the conference. So, first of all, tell me a little bit about how did that state meet go for you guys?
I think it went very well. I was very proud of our novice team. And our novice team was made up of Alex Lee, Max Maxson, Tyler Ryan, Kaylee Jackson, and Carter Flum.
Okay. And I noticed like Tyler Ryan's name in there. He also plays baseball. So we've got some kids that are double dipping, which is great to see.
Football
and football too, but I mean in the spring he played. And so he does 2 sports in one season, 2 activities in one season, which is fantastic. You love that. Conference meeting. Tell us a little bit about how the conference is made up.
It depends on the number of kids you have out.
Okay.
Like, we had 20. We're grouped with other, like, from 22 to 18.
Okay. So they kind of do it by how many kids that you have.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not necessarily geographical.
No.
It's more about how many kids you have out for the team.
A year ago, last spring, we were paired with International Falls.
Okay.
So,
All right. And so how this works, and I think you were telling me this fall, is you shoot at your home turf and then you submit those scores.
Yes.
So it's not like a track meet or a cross country meet where you all get together and shoot. It's more of you're shooting, you're on your honor, you put down your score, and then it gets submitted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thanks to both the Wadamingo Sportsman's Club and the Kenyon Sportsman's Club, we divide our times up. We shoot on Wednesdays at the Kenyon Club from 3:30 till done, and then at the Wadamingo at 6 till we're done.
Okay.
And we also offer a Saturday from 3:30 in Wadamingo.
That's
and that's
fantastic.
been working out. And we tell the kids, if you can't make it anyone, give myself or Shane Lundy, he's one of the other, and Jim Kiefmeyer.
Okay, cool. So now you hear about trap shooting, and it's the fastest growing activity in the state of Minnesota. Why do you think that is, Larry?
Well, I'm going to cite one example. Eli Bushman, I don't know if you remember him or not. He graduated, I think, 2 years ago. He had diabetes.
Okay.
He couldn't do anything else, but he could shoot.
Right.
And some of the Sydney Paquette, she was on the team.
Okay.
And
So
Katie
it
Jackson.
allows everyone to come and shoot and have that opportunity. That's fantastic, and I also like the fact that it is a co-rec activity because it's sometimes in sports you divide boys and girls like in basketball or soccer, say. So that's nice to see. Now the winter, you take the winter off, but this year you had a fall team.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do in the fall?
We didn't do too awful bad. I think there were 7 teams in our conference. We ended up 6, but we're shooting against some mighty fine.
Sure.
That some of those kids they shoot 200-300 rounds a week.
Wow.
So we only shot 75.
Okay. So
but we
proof
did,
is in the practice.
Yes, and
Okay.
that's what we try and instill in the kids, especially over the summer. When we got done in the spring, Shane and I and Jim sat down with the kids and said, if you want to get better, come out
Cool.
to either the Wadamingo or the Kenyon clubs and shoot.
Okay. Now you take the winter off, but then in the spring season, the team goes at it again.
Yes.
And so, tell us a little bit about maybe a kid is thinking about it, heard about trap team. How could someone get involved in trap team for the coming spring?
Give myself or Shane Lundy
Okay.
or Jim Kiefmeyer a call.
Okay.
Or send us an email.
What kind of experience do you have to have?
None.
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 Never shot a gun. You could join the team.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We had one kid, Cage Thompson.
Okay.
He never shot before. When he started out, he was shooting 1 or 2, maybe 3, and he progressed. In this last round he shot this fall, he shot a 15 out of 25. And you ought to see the smile in that kid's face.
Fantastic. And speaking about accuracy, I want to get back to the conference meet where Kurt Breinhurst and Matt Cohn were both 25 to 25. So
Mhm.
it's attainable. It's great to
Yes.
see the beginners get that success early on.
Yes.
I think a lot of times in sports when a kid struggles to find success, they quit the sport because they don't feel like they've succeeded. But when you can do that in one season and go from getting 1 of 2 and then all of a sudden 15, that's a huge step in the right direction.
Another strength of our team is last fall we had 4 seniors out of 25.
Okay.
We got a lot of good young shooters. Isaiah Thomas, Tanner Ingolstead,
Okay.
and there's several others that are. As Tanner during last spring, he broke his first 25 straight,
Wow.
and I think he's a 9th grader, I believe.
Okay.
So we got a lot of.
That's great. So
And
the
we're
future
building.
is now. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we wish you the very best. This is a hidden gem among the KW family here, this trap team. They do a great job. They work very hard under the direction of their coaches. Larry, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming out today. Best of luck, and I know as the spring season gets a little closer, we'll make sure that we let those kids know that there's a spot for them out there
Yes.
to learn and to grow, not only as shooters but team members, because there's that camaraderie as well. So.
Oh yeah, that's another strength of the team. Some of the more experienced shooters will talk to the younger ones.
That's
and say-
fantastic.
They watch them. I said, "Well, you're lifting your head off your gun.
Sure.
You're not. You're stopping on there instead of following through."
Okay. Awesome. Well, wish you the very best, and thank you so much. And we'll be right back.
Thanks to Larry for that, and continued success to the cheerleading team, or to the trap shooting team. Now to the cheerleading team. Sorry about that. Now to the cheerleading team. Second place at the Pride Lake Invite last weekend. Really good job. I saw a picture from the event. It was a massive humanity out there. It looked like a great opportunity for these girls. Great job finishing second.
Yeah, Stephanie Vogel did a nice job of getting us the information. Second place, all I know is there's only one team that was better than us, and that's a pretty good showing
That's pretty
for our
darn
team
good.
again. So hopefully that competition team can ratchet up even more as they go ahead through their season and have some more success.
Well, that'll do it for us. Lots going on here in the winter season, so get out there and support your Knights.